Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, written Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites, where we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. I know, we've been gone for a little bit. We all have to have a hiatus, a little break sometimes, in order to reflow the juices. And boy, I figured I'd kick it off with a beautiful piece of time because Joshua and Paul are here to talk all about traveling through time.
I miss my bitten Apple TV.
Oh man, folks, it has been a blast. I've been busy with real life, I guess, doing things and trying to relax a little bit as we get ready for October, November, which is the end of this con year. You know, with New York Comic Con and Urban Action Showcase and what is it? Garden State Comic Fest, Vineland. So lots of stuff, folks. There's still lots of stuff to go, and that's not even talking about Big Apple's Christmas show, which is I think in November as well. So yeah, we're still busy. So I needed that break. Josh, have you been doing any other conventions? Because I think you're pretty much concentrating on the Kickstarter, right?
I was at San Diego Comic-Con in July. I was running around meeting all the editors, handing out copies of the comic, advanced copies. I have about, I think like a dozen copies of those San Diego Comic-Con advanced copy issues still left. And I'm selling them on the Kickstarter. They are full of all kinds of spelling errors and coloring mistakes. So they will be collector's items at some point. So if you like collector's items, you can grab one of those.
That's a great incentive.
We had a whole bunch of the black and white ash cans that I was selling at the New York Comic Cons, the Brooklyn Comic Cons earlier this summer. And those all got snatched up right away. And those were really nice because they really showed off George's beautiful black and white line work.
Yeah, because sometimes you need to see the stuff in black and white, the art, because the art, it's two different things. I tell people all the time, sometimes the inking or the pencils look totally different than the finished or colored piece.
Yeah, it's really true. And I mean, the colors are amazing. And Kay Woolheiser, who came in to do our colors, she's this kind of indie genius, lives out in, Washington State in the woods. And yeah, I was blown away. Everything she touches is amazing. But the inks alone are just like a whole other piece of art. I mean, it's really amazing seeing the difference. New York Comic Con, I held off way too long to get tickets. I've completely missed. If you guys know anyone who has an extra ticket for any day, I would love to buy it off them.
We'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, awesome.
Because usually what happens is not all of us can go all 4 days. So sometimes we have a day where you can come in.
Oh, that'd be incredible. Yeah. Let me know. It's great to be here, you guys. I brought a little something to join you with. So feel free to join.
Let's kick it off. Let's do some cheers, folks.
I got
water here. Water.
Nice.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, no, I still got some.
Oh, no, let it all go in your lap, my friend.
Well, at least everything's disinfected. I mean, clean.
Raphael doesn't need the maker's mark. He just needs water.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Just have coffee soon. You guys in the audience, if you got anything, I'm all out Mondays.
No one saw it. You're
Monday, everything
no one's on yet.
That was hilarious. I didn't see it.
It's so funny because Tony always says Ralph doesn't drink. Now we know why Ralph doesn't drink.
Yeah, you have a drinking problem, right?
Yeah.
See, folks, you found it out here. I got a drinking problem.
It's so funny. My kids still quote that airplane joke from like 50
I love that joke.
I love it. It's so
I used to do it all the time. I'd be drinking something like,
yeah, I got a drink problem. It's so good.
Oh man. Talk about time, folks. Talk about time.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's kick this off because I like kicking off our show with whatever Kickstarter we're doing. That way you guys can look at it for a long period of time and then go support it. So here we go. Let's put this up here. Share the
Cool. You got the
screen.
screen. Nice.
And, now Joshua can talk all about it. Go for it, John.
Wow. Oh my God, we hit 27,000. That's
what I was telling you.
That must have happened when I was at dinner. Wow. We were like inching up all day, and I was like, it's not gonna happen. And it was like I was sure it was gonna just stop.
That's what I was saying like before. And I know your stretch goal is like 27 something, right?
27.5.
Yeah. That's why when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, did he reach his stretch goal?
Yeah, I can't believe that because I just posted 25 as our stretch goal on Friday.
Ooh.
And yeah, that moved fast. I mean, really incredible.
So you already hit the first one. This is the second one.
No, this is the first one. 25 is kind of where I was like, okay, we now have enough to like publish and and like put out everything that we said we're going to make, which is incredible.
That's amazing.
And
you want to see. Yeah.
And now we get to do the extras, and 27.5 is a really nice stretch goal. It is going to be basically everyone gets to get a peek at the creation of issue 2. So
dude, I love that.
So
I love that you put that in there because that's such an enticing piece of a stretch goal. I don't see a lot of people do that.
Well, because the thing is, like, most people are like, help me make this. I've already made it. I made issue 1. We're already well into issue 2. George is already drawing it, and I'm already writing issue 3. Like, this is the beginning of a ride. And the first 9 pages of issue 2 are kind of their own little self-contained, mind-blowing mystery explosion that's going to just hook you in and, like, give you like a whole bunch of answers and a whole bunch more questions really quickly. So I feel like I'm going to give those 9 pages to people right away, but I'm going to give them just the outline. And then the next drop will be the script. And then the next drop will be the layouts. And then the next drop will be the inks. And then the next drop will be the colors.
I love that.
Little by little, over the course of the few months where we're finishing up issue 2, you'll get to follow along in the creation of those first 9 pages.
That's awesome.
That's a way to share a bit of time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, it shows you're committed to it as well. It's just not like a one and done thing, which is good.
Yeah.
The artwork looks amazing.
Yeah.
George Quill is breathtaking. Yeah, I've ranted about him before on this show. But he's so good. He's a Portuguese artist, award-winning, worked, he's done Marvel, Image, all the big ones, Boom. He's been doing this for like, over a dozen years. He's such a professional. And he just won. There's my boy. He just won the Amadora Bede Award for Best European Artist for his adaptation of The Great Gatsby that he did for Clover Press last year. He definitely would not have agreed to do my little time travel comic if I had asked him after that award. But it's well deserved. And yeah. Oh, so and let me tell you about the stretch goal for 30,000.
Ooh.
I'm really excited about that. There is a incredible designer that we're going to hire. In fact, if you click on updates, I have some pictures of his work. His name is Jeff Pal. Click that one. Yeah.
What? I went back over here.
Oh, I think scroll down. Scroll down. It's going to be
okay. There it goes. All right.
Yeah. His name is Jeff Pal. You have probably seen his work in. Oh, can you scroll down a bit more? Because it's down in there.
Oh, there it goes.
So that's the first stretch goal. That's an image of from book 2 from the early.
There's a dialogue box, kid. Can you kill that?
Say it again.
There's a dialogue box. There you go. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. So keep scrolling. I want you to see Jeff's work. So basically, there you go. So you probably know his work from the Hawkeye book that Fraction and Aja did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As soon as I saw this cover, I knew his work. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's what the TV series was based on.
Yeah, exactly. So he's super professional, done, worked with every major studio, and he has such like an incredible eye. And at 30,000, we're going to bring him on, and he's going to make Time Sensitive, not just something I'm doing with InDesign and Chat GPT trying to figure it out, but actually look like a real professional book, on your bookshelf. It'll be a beautiful piece, and I'm really excited to work with him on this.
Oh, yeah, I can see him making this look really, really above and beyond.
Yeah. And now you're scrolling through like some of the really cool comics that are on Kickstarter that I've been backing, and wanted to give shout outs to my people.
Oh.
This one was The Art of Juan Jimenez, who I used to read in heavy metal when I was a kid, a bunch of his collected stories. This is one called Sharp Eye that Simon Roy is godfathering. Proctor is another local New York artist.
Yeah, we've had him on the show.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I love that cover. I think that goes back to issue 1, but he's on issue 5 now and totally rocking it.
This cover right here is so rock and roll, so heavy metal, so badass.
Totally.
Yeah. I like that you're doing this, that you support the other creatives out there, because sometimes I feel like a lot of the creators kind of like my Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, I mean, Kickstarter is all about, like, one of my backers like came to me and was like, I heard about you from another comic that I had backed, and they were recommending you, and he was like, I feel like Kickstarter is sort of like this secret comic book store where everything is just word of mouth. Like, it's all about, have you heard about this one? Have you heard about this one? And I love that, the whole idea of Kickstarter as a secret comic book store. So I'm very committed to like, every update I do, I drop in like, here's who I'm reading, here's who I'm backing. And all sci-fi comics. Like, I'm really focused on like, like, you love sci-fi comics, that's why you're here. Here's another one you're gonna love.
Love it. What is Time Sensitive? So tell the audience what Time Sensitive is.
Yeah. Hey, if you're hearing about it for the first time, well, you'll get a lot more from the Kickstarter site, but yeah, let me give you the basic drill. So it's the Mandela effect, the sense of like reality is different than you remember it being. Well, this is like taking that to the extreme, where it's about a detective, an LA detective named Caleb Stone, whose wife disappears at a gas station, and when he goes looking for her, everyone says, "You were never married." That everyone says that the woman he remembers waking up with that morning has been dead for 6 years. He thinks he's going insane until he meets this weird, mysterious teenage girl who says, basically, I know why your wife was deleted.
Can you imagine that? I love that line, and I know we talked about it the last time, but it's such a great line, because can you imagine somebody came up to you, you're thinking you're going crazy, and somebody goes, I know why your wife was deleted. Oh.
Yeah, because just that whole idea of like, okay, someone believes you,
yep,
that you're not crazy, but their reason is so insane and so brain breaking and so unconnected to any reality that and then she is asking him to trust her and to follow her and to do these insane things that nobody in their rightful mind would do. What do? He wants his wife back so much. This is the only link he has to her, and yet she's insane. What do? Are you insane? Is she insane? Like I love that this is a story about that kind of the existential drama of time travel. Like, that was kind of like the key moment that I got excited about in coming up with this idea, that it was like, what if time travel isn't an adventure? What if it's an affliction?
Ooh.
What if it's not, taking off, in a DeLorean and playing and having fun, but what if it fucks your life up? But it's also a really fun adventure, and it's also really funny and really thrilling, and like, it's all of it.
It's funny that you say that, because there was this theory online that somebody's been trying to fix the time stream, but every time they go back, they fuck it up even more. And that's why we're where we are right now, because they keep trying to fix it and they keep making it worse.
Yep. Yeah, that's Frank. Frank is, for everyone. Yeah. It's like some behind the scenes, random person who has fucked up the world. Because I often think
I
like,
think those days, I think we're like in like the worst version of like Sims. They were like, how if somebody sit back and be like, how messed up would it be if this happened? And let's just
But that,
like,
that explains so much, doesn't it? Really?
yeah, like,
Raphael, thank you. I had no idea what was happening.
Oh my God.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, that if someone went back and killed Hitler, right, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Nope.
Because he would have become a martyr.
Mhm.
They would have, brought in the next guy, the JD
Yep.
Vance, who would have been even worse.
Yep.
And and it would have, like anything you do to try to change the path will just make it worse. That is the rule of time travel, right? Like, it is. Did you ever see that time travel movie with Jim Belushi called Retroactive?
Oh yeah.
Super like low budget, cheesy 90s movie, right?
I don't think so.
No. All right. It's actually one of my favorite time travel movies. It's basically this woman is on the run in the middle of the desert trying to escape from this. I forget the details, but Jim Belushi is this violent, like drifter who shows up at the worst possible time and everything goes wrong. And yet she manages, in running from him, to run into some crazy scientist's time travel experiment in this cave and resets everything 2 hours. And suddenly she's back in the moment just before everything went bad. And now she knows what's going to happen. So she tries to fix it. But this time, instead of just her car crashing, she causes this massive car crash and all these people die.
Wow.
And then she runs away and she gets back to the scientist's lab and goes back to the same moment. And she's like, okay, now I know how to fix it. And it goes worse and worse. And every time, and you just watch this endless chain of impossibly awful circumstances until Jim Belushi's, incredibly charismatic but terrifying bad guy ends up discovering the time travel cave, and he starts.
Jim Belushi, the comedian, that guy.
Jim Belushi's brother, Jim Belushi.
John Belushi. Okay.
Who had a brief career in the 80s and 90s, doing lots of B movies.
Oh, he did lots of. He even had a TV show.
Did he?
Yeah.
Jim Belushi show.
All about Jim, according to Jim, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow, I can't believe I remember that movie.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey.
I gotta say, I can see that you've dove into this whole time travel thing. I gotta say, I still love this, and I know I put it up for the promo. I love your Back to the Future cover.
Oh yeah, isn't that great? Sidney Davidson is the artist of that. The one in the middle is Jonathan Marks Baravecchia, who is just an incredible artist. I actually have a piece of his on my wall up there. I don't know if you can see it.
Hold on, I'll put you up.
Can you see that?
Oh, now we can see it.
Yeah, look at that. It's
wow.
It's a really beautiful piece of original art that he did, and I found out later that his wife modeled for it, and then when I met her at one point, I said, "Oh, I have a painting of you on my wall," and she remembered that it was her naked, and she just like blushed, like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry, I didn't put that together."
That's funny.
But it's such a beautiful piece. I think he's an amazing artist who just uses paint in an incredible way. And
each one of your covers is just really stands out on its own.
I was concerned that they were so different, that they were such different styles. Like I've definitely like had heard like, oh, you should have your variant covers be like all of a theme or all kind of telling us. Yeah, I don't know either, but I went for like 3 different artists with 3 very different styles. And
I gotta say, I like this better because I know what you're talking about because I've seen it where all the covers, but then all the covers kind of feel similar, and you're like, why would I want to get this cover? I can just get this cover.
Right.
Well, lately variant cover can be anything. Lately, it doesn't. You don't have to do anything with the comic at all. It's just, here's the cosplayer cover, huh? Not cosplaying as anyone in the comic, huh? So.
I mean, here was something interesting I learned. So I put one of the rewards was, you could buy the original cover, or you could buy a reward cover, Or if you buy the next level after the deluxe hardcover, if you want to scroll down a bit more, is the Strangeland fan bundle that has all 3 covers plus the hardcover plus a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff. I was amazed how many people skipped over the variant cover and just went forget all 3 of them plus the hardcover. And I was like, oh, I think like that kind of makes sense, because like that, paralysis of choice is a real thing.
Oh, it is.
And it also gives me a big insight into like the collector mindset. Like you don't want to choose one, you want them all. Like it's which, and I did not
go broke.
Oh, when I was younger, I would buy like every cover. Now it's like I gotta make a choice. I can't buy every
Hey man, that's why they added that whole thing that I was talking about the other day with poor people like me who can't pay the full amount at once.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I love that on Kickstarter, like the pay as you go.
Yeah,
I love it because I have an addiction to Kickstarter.
we know. We like, we share Kickstarter a lot here because we love them and we like helping the creators. And at the same time, we end up going broke.
Yeah. I know, so much good stuff. And I'm the same way. Like, I can't believe anyone popped for the number of people who like got like the bundles that have everything in it plus really surprised me, because I love Kickstarters, but I can never afford to do that. Like, I'm like, I picked my favorite cover and thank you.
I feel like one of the times where it works out for me is sometimes you want to give the creator a good amount of money, and then you go, okay, I can take this bundle, but you can't do it all the time.
Yeah, I think people chose to splurge on this one, and I'm so grateful for that I was the one they picked.
But I gotta say, your history alone, you kind of come from a bunch of different places, and I feel like that makes your writing even pop more, because you're coming from video games, you're coming from TV, you're doing all this different stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel like all this has come together to form who you are right now as a writer?
I mean, it's so interesting because every medium of writing that I have worked in has been like, every time I've moved to a new medium, it's like I've had to learn a new language of writing. and they're so different from each other. Like when I went, from TV and movies to video games for the first time, like I was completely in over my head. And until I went to GDC and started studying and hearing all these lectures and being like, oh, everything that I have learned from years of Hollywood is kind of thrown out the window now, because it's really not about character and catharsis and 3-act structure anymore.
No.
You have to know that stuff, but now it's about agency, and it's about environmental storytelling, and it's about possibility spaces and story magnets. And there's all of this new terminology and ideas about how to surround a player with a story world that allows them to express themselves. God, that was exciting. I love learning a new language. And so coming into comics after, 15 years in video games, thinking, well, this is going to be just like, TV writing or movie writing. I'll get to go back to what I was doing then. Like, nope. I had to throw out everything I'd learned and start again, because suddenly it was about writing for panels.
Yeah.
And each panel is so specific. Exactly. You have such a tiny minutia of a moment of time.
Yep.
You have to choose exactly the right moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just like, have each shot be a panel, because you would end up with a 1,000-page book. You have to choose the representative moment that is going to best give you the action, the feeling, the understanding of what's happening through action, but frozen action. Right. It's really unique and exciting. So, I think what I do bring from video game writing is the sense of world building, is the sense of, like in a video game, I have got to surround you with a world that feels lived in, that feels bigger than what you can see in front of you, that feels like there's all of these nooks and crannies ahead of you that you want to explore, and story magnets that are dropping in and pulling you forward, making you wonder, what was that? And what was that? And what's going to happen next? And then also holding your attention from cutscene to cutscene. Like there's a lot that kind of translated. And moved
I gotta
across.
say, I'm happy you said that because my first thought is, so when's the video game coming out? Because as I'm checking through all this stuff, I'm like, okay, I want to play this now.
Cool. I will say, this did go through a phase as a video game. It started as a TV show 15 years ago. then about 5 years ago, I was like, it's a video game. And I spent like 2 years developing all of the gameplay and this really unique time travel gameplay that I got very excited about. And I created a whole pitch deck for it, but I never shared it with anyone because as I was doing it, I was creating the characters and the story and the world. And I thought, you know what? I think this needs to be a comic book first. I think I need to create the story, create the IP, hook people with that, get these characters into the world, and then build the video game around it.
Love it.
So, God willing, that's the direction we'll go.
I love, but it also showcases that all this stuff comes together. I'm also happy that you said that screenwriting and comic book writing are two totally different things. Because I know a lot of people think, oh, it's a script. It's a script. It's a script. Yeah, but when you're talking, when you're writing a script for a screen or for a movie or for, I see now it's Tony's turn to
you should drop a glass.
Tony has a drinking problem.
I'll be right back. I take it.
But I like when because one of the first questions I get to always get is like, oh, so it's the same thing as screenwriting. I'm like, no, you're explaining different things when you're screenwriting.
Well, you're explaining action, right? You're explaining movement, and in a comic book, you cannot have action. You cannot have two things happening in the same panel.
No,
you have to choose one. And talk about paralysis of choice. I mean, it is really hard to know exactly what that right moment is. Like it takes a lot of trial and error.
And it's funny because I've told people this before. If you want to learn any other type of writing, this is a good way to go because it kind of helps you break it down to a more simpler story where you have to figure out what works for the story. And you really have to break it down.
Yeah. I don't know if it's simpler. I think it's harder. I think it's harder.
It's harder, but I'm saying, the structure of it, you're bringing it down to a simple place. Because you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're bringing it down to a level where, so he is doing this, and you're using that to tell the story, and without that, you can't tell the story.
Do you write comics as well?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you've done it. You're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done some screenwriting. I've done some comic writing. I've done some novel writing. I hate novel writing.
You hate it?
I hate it. I'm a better at short stories or shorts. So anytime I sit to write a novel, it's like
it's just too much. It's too big.
Oh my God. That's why I give you guys credit when you guys write all those beautiful books, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And I'm like, I can write a bunch of shorts and then put them together into a bigger story.
I started out, I wanted to be a novelist. That was how I started. But my first book was like a novella. It was like 90 pages.
See?
But it took me like 2 years to write. Like it was so detailed, and I rewrote and rewrote. It was after I finished that my dad gave me the advice where he basically said, don't be a novelist. Are you an idiot? He's like, if you want to survive as a writer, you need to be a screenwriter. That's where the money is. And then you can sell a script and make enough money to go and write novels. So I was the idiot that took him up on that advice.
Because I think it worked out for you.
But I think I don't know if you know how much of my backstory but I spent 10 years in Hollywood without ever getting anything on screen.
Right.
I sold scripts. I got hired on jobs. I sold a TV show. Like I worked regularly for 10 years. The first actual produced credit I ever had was Assassin's Creed 2. That came completely out of the blue. So maybe I needed 10 years in Hollywood to learn how to write.
I am really happy you're saying that because a lot of people have this idea that whoever becomes successful or they get some kind of success, that it's overnight. I'm like, no. There's a whole process that happens before they get to that point.
Yeah.
You earn it, man.
It's everything. It's not only your talent, it's networking connections too.
Yep.
And you probably know that better than anyone, Joshua. I'm sure. It's just you gotta connect with people. You really do.
I mean,
and luck sometimes, man. You gotta be lucky. Just
I mean, the line that always sticks in my head is, the reason that Assassin's Creed 2 came about is because I had written a screenplay for these producers at the very beginning of my career for free, and it never got made, but it was the first thing I ever did. And 10 years later, one of the producers calls me and he says, I've become a game writer now, and we're working on a game called Assassin's Creed 2, and we're 6 months from ship and we don't have a script, and you are the only writer I've ever liked working with.
Wow. See, that's what I tell people all the time. You don't cut your bridges. You don't burn your bridges. You don't cut your rope, because sometimes what you think was a failure or something that didn't work out for you could be the thing that gets you going somewhere else. Every
single gig is about creating relationships for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because every job that I do now, and I work a lot as a video game writer. Like my main job is as a consultant on games, and all of the jobs I get are almost all from people that I have met over the past 15 years doing this.
It's also one of the reasons I tell people it may be a big world, but it's a small circle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you mess up, you're gonna mess up big.
So just be someone people like to work with. That's
exactly
the entire goal of this career.
My question is, you're 6 months from shipping. You don't have a script yet for a game. How does that even happen?
Seriously. I mean, I think the story was, and I probably never got the full story, but the offices, the game developers were in Montreal, Ubisoft, and the owners of the company were in Paris, and they didn't speak English. And the writer who I was working with didn't speak French. He was from LA like me. And so he would write a level. It would go to them. They would have to have it translated. It would end up coming back. All their notes would have to get translated. It would come back to him. He would write a new level. And this would go back and forth through translation for so many years in the building of this game that it got to the point where they were like, had built the whole world and basically knew where it was going, but had no words for any of the characters to say.
Wow. That's messed up.
Yeah. And I think there was probably a ton of pressure, because the first game had done well and they were putting big money into the second game.
Mm-hmm.
They had to get it right.
Well, lately we've been hearing about like a lot of like big budget movies. They start filming where the script is not finalized. What are you doing?
All the time.
What are you doing? Like,
yeah,
they're writing the script as they go, huh?
Like, totally. Hey,
yeah, Pirates. I know, like the Pirates of the Caribbean, like the second and third movie, like basically the script writers would give like the director pages like as they went, so they wouldn't change anything.
Yeah,
those movies are not good. I mean, everyone needs an editor, man. Those movies are not good. Like, I love the first Pirates movie, but not the second and third, personally.
Yeah, as someone who has played almost the entire series, this is a very fun thing to hear about.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
sweet. Which is your favorite, having played them all?
Ooh.
You have to say two.
Brotherhood or Relative.
You don't have to say two just because I'm sitting here.
No.
You weren't going to.
It's in my like top 5, but probably Brotherhood or Relative. Yeah, the one after. I can't say it. It's hard to say right now. Revelations.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think mine is 5, the pirate one.
I
love that. I love being an anti, discovering that you are a Templar. Spoiler alert. I It was a good twist. I loved, being on the high sea and getting to be a pirate, going from island to island. It was a great sailing.
See, the naval combat is what kept me away from that.
Oh, it was so fun. It was so fun.
And then, I mean, I haven't played Shadows yet. I want to at some point.
Yeah,
but
it looks great.
I liked Syndicate as well.
Hmm.
The Britain one.
Speaking of games, you want to scroll back up to that game, the Game Vault bundle, because there's some cool stuff in there that I don't know if you guys saw that. So essentially, I wanted to, in every Kickstarter, it's like 2 more up. In every Kickstarter that I do for this series, I'm going to release.
There it goes.
Here it is. Special items from my Game Vault.
Ooh.
I've got a signed Assassin's Creed 2 script.
Oh, wow.
Signed Outrider script. And the
Ghost Fragments too.
The coolest thing. What's that?
The Ghost Fragments. I see that on there too.
Yeah.
Ghost Fragments. So basically, I was in charge of creating the Dead Ghosts and creating the lore that was going into the Dead Ghosts. And so before any of the grimoire got written, I kind of did like the seeds of what the grimoire became and did all of this really cool micro fiction that are these like fragments from different characters that are Dead Ghosts. So that's never been published anywhere.
That's crazy.
I'm putting that out there as a signed chapbook for people who jump in and grab that along.
I love the fact that you really give people incentive to get all these. And I know that there's also a tier where you actually help people out if they purchase it, right?
What do you mean help people out?
They buy the tier and you actually help them with their writing. Or did I read that right? I think I read it right.
Well, I am. There is a like you can get an hour with me.
There you go.
To talk about your writing, to look over your writing portfolio, to talk about your writing career, give you, answer any questions you want to talk about, about narrative, about game design, about what you should be doing with your career. And then George is offering the same thing for artists.
Ooh.
If you want to talk
both doing it.
If you want to show your portfolio, get some insight, get some advice. We're both here to kind of help you with as professional coaches for an hour.
Those are some good tiers. Again, incentive, man. I can see people going, hey, that is and again, when your guys are putting tiers up like that, usually what ends up happening is that you're not paying as much as you would pay if they would pay you directly to do this. They're getting a discount.
Well, it's not that so much as the fact that we don't offer this. Like, it's not like we are regularly available.
Well, I get that. But at the same time, if you were trying to purchase something like that, it wouldn't cost that little.
Right. Fair enough. And
that's why I'm telling you folks, sometimes the best place to go is the Kickstarter, and you get some of the best stuff. I'm telling you folks.
All right, you got me, Joshua. I get the $199 the game level. I want the sign.
Whoa.
Awesome, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
maybe you can buy my $2 little game while you're at it. That'd be great.
I would love to.
Oh man, folks, this stuff is fantastic. I wanted to bring him on when the Kickstarter came off. We talked about this a couple of months back before you had the Kickstarter going, and when you were trying to build up the, all the people trying to build up the hype.
Yeah,
and you already had great hype, and I love the fact. And again, talk about Kismet. We were at Bix, right? It was Bix.
That's right. Brooklyn.
We were at Bix, and we were in a place where we weren't supposed to be.
Right.
And
we just started chatting.
Yep.
We were both like I was far away from my booth. It was like my 1 5-minute journey away from my booth. And I was like, finally I get to explore, while my son is like watching the booth. And you were like, oh, wait, you did that comic? I wanted to talk to you about that comic. Can we go back to your booth? And I was like, oh God, I just got away from this. But okay.
That sounds like a time travel story in itself.
I told you.
Yeah, it was total kismet. Wow.
Dude, folks, that's what I'm telling you. Sometimes you just got to live life. Find all the bits and pieces. Sometimes we're so wrapped up in our lives that we don't see what's there. And that's the truth.
I can't believe, I never thought I would do a Kickstarter, let alone a successful Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I really went into this having no idea what the hell I was doing, and, you know, making it up as I went, studying every Kickstarter out there, like really trying to understand what do they do, how do they do it, what can I learn here. And even up until the night before, I was like, I have no idea if anyone's going to show up. like I really think it'll be my parents, and, you know, and, you know, some of the, you know, kids I knew in high school might, you know, come, you know, but you know, the fact that we like funded in like 2 hours,
Yeah,
you know, was amazing. And we have a Discord channel for Strangeland Comics with hundreds of people on it, which still kind of blows my mind. And so many people were live on Discord being like, I got this and I got this, and what'd you get? And oh my God, I'm number 23. And oh my God, I got in at number 4. And like, you know, like the amount of energy. And then one of our Discord followers jumped in and bought this $1,000 tier, and I was like, oh my God, man, are you insane? Like, that's so cool. Like, I can't believe anyone actually did that. Like, I kind of put it in like thinking no one would. It was this guy, you know, God bless him, and my dad got one. I was like, okay, thank you, Dad, but do you really want all these comics and all this art on your walls? And you don't really need to get drawn into issue 2, do you? Like, do you actually want, like, I would
have been like, Dad, I would have drawn you in for free.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh man, but it's funny. Like I tell people all the time, you know, because like you're saying, initially your big support, especially for that first Kickstarter, is all your friends and families, and you know that's why the first Kickstarter usually, not always, the first Kickstarter usually is a success because you have that initial push from family, friends, and whatnot. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You did all this research and studying. What did you learn about Kickstarter?
So I worked with a consultant that I found named Launchboom, and they taught me a lot. I highly recommend them. If you're ever going to do a Kickstarter, I will totally, to the high heavens, give them praise. They have a philosophy which, if I hadn't listened to, it would have just been my parents and, you know, a few friends from high school. Their theory is your Kickstarter is made in the pre-launch. It's all about audience building before you launch your Kickstarter. And they believe heavily in meta advertising. You advertise on Facebook and Instagram, and that's all you have to do. That's the only advertising you have to do. But if you invest in that, you do your A/B testing, you figure out who your audience is, you figure out through A/B testing what is the image that is going to capture people, what is the headline that's going to capture people, and you build a base by finding them through advertising and then building up a real social media presence where you are being authentically yourself. And you're not trying to push a persona. You're not trying to, you know, wow anyone. You're just being yourself so people understand who you are as a creator. And that then once you have built that audience, then you push launch.
I gotta say, like, from watching your videos and being on your Instagram and your other social medias, it's you. When you do the videos, it's you just doing your thing, you know. And I gotta say, I've seen that it is very genuine. You are very genuine. You're just being yourself. You're just being your geeky self.
I will say, like, the very first video I put out announcing Strangeland, like a year and a half ago, I showed it to my wife, and she was like, "You're really earnest." She's like, are you sure that's the persona? Like, shouldn't you have a persona? Shouldn't you find like a, you know, social media guru to train you in, you know, social media presence? And I was like, oh God, maybe. But I ended up showing it to like friends and other people in the comics industry who I was meeting. And I was like, what do you think of this video? And they all kind of said, like, you know, yeah, it's earnest, but that's who you are. Like,
exactly.
And that's fine. You cannot be someone other than yourself. People will know. They'll feel that.
And we see a lot of that because we see a lot of videos and yes, do my Kickstarter. Whoa. And you're like, what are you doing? Oh my God. Well, speaking of videos, let's show your video. Let's go to the videotape, folks. So we can see his video that he has on his Kickstarter. Here we go.
Hey, I'm Joshua Rubin. You might not know my name, but you probably know some of the characters I've helped bring to life, like Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2.
Leonardo, I think you just found your madman.
And Clementine in Telltale's Walking Dead.
Still not bitten.
I have been lucky to work on some of the biggest games out there, but I've got so many more worlds I've been building. And I'll tell you, once you start getting gray hairs in your beard, you realize life is too short for anything but yes projects. And I have always loved comic books. So last year, I pulled the trigger and founded Strangeland Comics, a home for high concept, mind-bending, brain candy sci-fi. And today, I am beyond excited to release issue number 1 of our flagship title, an existential time travel love story thriller with stunning art by award-winning Portuguese artist Jorge Quill. Are you ready? This is Time Sensitive. I am so excited for you to open the pages of Time Sensitive for the first time. Issue 1 is already complete and it is ready to print. And George has already begun drawing issue 2. This is only the beginning of a much larger world. Honestly, it means so much that you're here. Launching an indie comic book label today, it takes a whole community. And thanks to you, Strangeland Comics is just getting started.
Ernest.
Wow.
That was awesome.
That was an awesome video.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I've never watched it with anyone before, except my kids.
Dude, it kind of gives you everything. It gives you a little bit of an idea of what the book is. It kind of gets you excited about what the book is. And even when you're throwing in the premise, you know, you're giving information, and at the same time you're showing and letting the audience get their own idea of everything. And one of the I was about to say was you have it on the Kickstarter. One of the panels I love is where you see the car, and then on the other panel, everything just, you know, she's gone, his car changes, and it's so subtle that if you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
It reminded me of those old those really old Captain America Hulk cartoons, or really old ones that was just Jack Kirby's comic just moving. It reminded me of that, but it just looked better. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
I worked with an amazing animator who I found, who I think he's based in Lagos, Nigeria, and just so talented. Ken Otikipiki, something like that. Amazing last name I can't pronounce. But yeah, he blew me away. I found him online and I was like, I want to work with you. You're going to rock this. And he completely knocked it out of the park. He did the animated section in the middle. The rest of it was me being my own video editor and sound designer and getting to like play with all of those skills from my Hollywood days that, you know, I have barely touched in many years.
I gotta say, do you see how close you are?
Close. Wait, did that just happen?
Yeah.
During the podcast, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's incredible. Wow. All right, we're
You
gonna have
are
very
so
cool
close.
stretch goal. What's that?
You are so close.
Wow. Unbelievable. Jordan, I think you were part of that. You jumped right in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe it was so funny. So for you guys who don't know, Jordan just showed up in the Discord and was like, "Hey man, I'm in this chat with you."
Yeah.
It's so funny because Jordan is such a big fan. We love him here, and once he loves something, he really throws his whole heart and soul into it. He's the kind of fan that you want.
I mean,
look at all that collectible stuff behind him.
Here.
Yeah,
I got to figure out this new setup here.
Is that vinyl on the ceiling that you?
No, actually, it was painted on.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Okay, wait.
Whoa! Oh
Nope,
my
wrong
God!
camera.
4.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Wow. What are we looking at? Tons of DVDs.
Yeah, those are just all movies. God, what is
toys? Beautiful, man.
No, wait.
He is a collector.
There we go. Okay. I mean,
great. That is such a cool setup. Oh my God, I love it.
Just like I said, this is the kind of fan that you want to like your books.
Yeah.
Or your stuff.
And actually, oh God, I gotta get back here.
Are those toys you've never opened, just in the box?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
I got like that Cade 6 statue up there.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love that character. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was an alpha. I've literally been playing Destiny since D1 alpha.
Ooh. Amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for all the hours we've stolen.
Yeah, well,
That is so fun.
Right.
Thank you for that tour. That's great.
Yeah.
It's really well organized.
Great to see what Jordan's up to.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, I love how organized it is too. I mean, if you look at my shelves, it's like a mess. Like I just have like tons of jumbled stuff on there.
Same thing.
Yeah. Like I collect and I collect and I collect, and it all just goes on the shelves. I have like, some order. Like here, I have like here, I'll show you. Like I was just looking at this. Here's like my little lion section, all these different lions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got a let's see, an elephant section over here.
Love it.
That are just like, random toys from like different parts of my life, but also like antique, Indian, pieces from Rajasthan. Like all kinds of random things. There's a little Halo toy in there.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
There's my original.
Yeah.
Dinklage,
there it is.
My little spot.
I still think he should have never been replaced, but
he was phoning it in, man. He was.
I'm sure. I get that, but like, I'm so tired of Nolan North, man.
I don't think they cast better than Dinklage, but I mean, I heard Dinklage's VO when it came in, and those are my words he was reading, and I was like,
oh yeah,
dude, come on. like he was like, I don't need a fucking video game.
I mean,
like, what is this shit? He had clearly never heard of Bungie.
But like for like some of those like more emotional scenes, especially with like D2, I feel like having Dinklage would have, he's like, this journey we've been on, and I'm like, I haven't been on this journey with you.
Right.
Like, you weren't the one that woke me up.
Right. When Nolan North said it, you mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah. This long journey we've been on. It's like, no, it's Dinklage, man.
That was the other guy.
I mean,
and then you want to
sad too, because Dinklage is so good. Such a good actor.
Yeah.
Dinklage,
you were talking about like all the like world building and story and cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
This game right here.
Ooh, I've been hearing about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've got to play that game. It's amazing.
I just got it this week because physical copies have been impossible to get a hold of.
Really?
Like
that's because they want to buy the digital.
No, you don't own digital.
You know, I've been telling that to people for ages. They all look at me like with my DVDs and my CDs, and they're like, "Why are you buying that stuff, Ralph?" I'm like, "Because I own it."
If your internet goes out or something else, or you get in trouble online, gone.
There's this movie that came out last year. It's an End of the World movie with Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts, and there's this teenage character in it who is like one episode away from the end of Friends, and all the internet goes out.
Oh,
and
I saw that. Yeah,
goes down, and the end of the world, and everyone's freaking out, and that's just like a throwaway thing. But the very, very last shot is she finds her way. Spoiler: she finds her way into somebody's what do you call it? Like survival basement
house, yeah.
that they never made it into. Yep. And there is a physical DVD collection, and there is Friends, the final season. And she's just like
watching it.
Yeah, and that's how it ends, like
that. I gotta say, I love the ending to that movie. The whole movie was kind of weird, but I was like, I love the ending.
Yeah. It definitely made me reconsider my DVD collection that my wife wants me to throw away.
Exactly.
I mean, you saw mine, so
yeah, you didn't know how Friends was gonna end. Ross is gonna get with Rachel.
Oh, you spoiler alert.
But wasn't the last episode just like every other episode? I mean, it's not like that,
definitely.
Developed.
Definitely. The last episode is just like every other episode. Oh, man. So Paul, why don't you tell the people what you've been up to? Because you've been busy.
The Time
Enforcers. So yeah, I mean, I've been working diligently on episode 2 for Time Enforcers, which is going along really well. Of course, that's going to be a Galaga experience, except you fly in Amelia Earhart's, what I'm calling her Vega 6 3D plane, because she has to travel to the transdimensional realm, not just Kansas. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's moving along really well. They actually got it set up where it'll play on any platform. So that's pretty exciting to me, being an indie game programmer. I only have to program once, and I can deploy to iOS, Android, as well as Mac and PC. And if I ever can afford the platform base, I can get it on Switch as well, which is kind of cool. But anyway, that's like in the future sometime. But yeah, that's going great. It's introducing new characters in episode 2. We've got, of course, Amelia Earhart, who was cameoed in episode 1, but she's going to be featured more in depth in episode 2. We're going to be featuring Togo, the dog who ran the serum run in the 1925 Alaskan diphtheria outbreak in Nome, Alaska. So he's going to be featured as a character. And then we've got Detective Nico Time. He's a private eye from Los Angeles during the film noir period of Hollywood. So he's going to be all in grayscale, and he'll be presented in the next episode as well. They actually staged all the drawings for the characters, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm doing top-down animation again. There's Nick. Yep, he's part of our magnet collection. So if you want to buy a magnet of Nick, you can do that. And also Nick is going to be voiced over by our own Rafael Tavares as well. So Nick, he's going to be his character. Pretty excited about that. There's a lot of things happening. It's amazing how this thing is almost like a symbiosis, and it's moving on its own. I almost think like the Blob, because there's things happening I don't even realize they're happening. And it's really exciting me that way. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, this boy's been busy. Tell him about this.
Yeah, so this is another exciting thing that happened. I found Fractured Atlas through different searches. I was trying to find a way to get funding for my endeavors, and especially the education portion of what I'm looking to do with this game. I'm really looking to build out a course curriculum for kids in 5th to 9th grade, really make history learning fun. And that's really the ultimate goal, what I'm looking to do here. And Fractured Atlas is an organization. They're a 503c. They're a nonprofit, but they sponsor artists, both in like dramatic arts, visual arts, pretty much the whole communities. And they enable you to raise money through a nonprofit entity. So I have this essentially like a Kickstarter, but it's on Fractured Atlas's platform, where people can donate and make a tax-deductible donation to Time Enforcers. You can do it all cash, or I have somewhat like Kickstarter levels granted, the setup is not as nice as Kickstarter, but you can, donate a certain percentage, and then I can start throwing some merch in for you. So we have our magnets, we have our T-shirts, we have our ball caps, we have our posters, all that kind of stuff. So depending on what you want to donate, you can go there, make a tax-deductible donation, less any kind of product that goes along with it, and then you can, take some money off next year's taxes, which is kind of cool. And it's all a really great program. They've been around for, I think, almost 50 years now. And they've helped a lot of visual artists, dramatic artists out in terms of trying to get their funding going. And I'm pretty excited to be on board with that. I'm going to be aggressively pursuing this when I attend EdTech Week in October. So I'll be there for 3 days in mid-October to talk about and hopefully meet up with some investors and get people interested in Time Enforcers from the education standpoint. And then we'll also be doing the NJEA conference in November in Atlantic City. And same kind of preview that we'll be, positioning ourselves for education. I'm actually working on a core component for a whole outline of courses for kids, and I have that going now as well. So in addition to having materials for kids to go through the course with, I'm also working up whole instruction manuals so that you can get the educators on board and so they can outline the course materials properly to the kids. So it's all pretty exciting. It's all new to me, and I'm learning as I go, but it's really, I've been bouncing the ideas off people, and they just, wow, this is great. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow. Very cool, man.
And I gotta say, folks, you can help him out, if you throw some money his way, because he's doing everything by himself. He can actually hire somebody to help him.
That's all right. I mean, it's like there's no sense of sleep, so I just keep pumping along and just love what I'm doing, which is great. Episode 1's for sale in the app stores. We got it on the Mac, PC, iOS, and Android. It's been going pretty well. I've been making some sales, not gangbusters, but it's going great. People are getting interested. For the people that do play it, they appreciate it, and I'm getting great reactions from not only gamers but from parents and also teachers, and they're finding the value, that I think is really needed right now. There's been a lot of noise around happenings in the news, and it's just like, why can't we just come together, learn about who we are? Everyone's different. Let's just appreciate those differences and just celebrate one another instead of like being ignorant and doing silly stuff. So that's really what I'm hoping to do with this game, is really, get kids to understand history, make sure they know what they're learning, what they're talking about. So if they have a question about something that's happening, they have some basis to go from in terms of determining, is this the right course I'm looking at? Heck, this happened before, didn't work out then, so why should it work out now? So it's really what I'm looking to do.
And I gotta say, as somebody who loves history, I love how you're getting people and kids excited to do it. Because sometimes people look at history and they look at it like and it's the weirdest thing, because when we do this, we just end up repeating it.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, I think what people are really missing too is just like, people that lived in the past were just ordinary people, but they've done some pretty amazing things. And one of the characters I'm featuring in episode 3, his name is Benjamin Banneker. He was an African American. He lived during colonial times, so around the American Revolution. He knew Thomas Jefferson. He actually had letter correspondences with Thomas Jefferson. He actually invented the first wooden clock. He had no experience. He just invented a clock, and it was the first one in the colonies. And then he also surveyed Washington, D.C. So this guy was just an amazing genius that I think is someone who's greatly overlooked. And it's really highlighting those figures in history that have been overlooked, and just saying, because he's not a George Washington, a Ben Franklin, or a Charles Lindbergh, whoever that may be, there are a lot of people in note in history that have done some really cool things, and I think that really can inspire kids to do things greater, which is kind of a cool thing too. So,
I'll tell you, I love the name Time Enforcers, and I actually, my bad guys are unofficially called the Time Enforcers. and I think I had heard about your game because I had done a search to see whether I could use that name, and saw your game out there, and I was like, oh crap, I can't use Time Enforcers. So I've yet to actually put it in writing. I think I'm going to try and find another name so I don't step on your game. But
I appreciate that, Joshua. I nailed that trademark as soon as I came up with the name. I said, "Wow, there's not out there. I gotta just say it's fun. So
it's great. Yeah. So, but I'm still calling them time enforcers in my head.
I'll let you go, man. If you want to use it in your book, I have no problem. As long as you don't merchandise the name, we're okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
time
no worries.
enforcers, but with a Z at the end. You know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Time enforcers.
Yeah.
Or do they
Extra
say,
S, you know.
time enforcers, you know?
I love it.
There's always
Time
ways around a
enforcers.
registered trademark, you know.
The time enforcers.
I think my kids would love this too.
Yeah, so it's like history's always been a passion of mine. I just, always loved reading about history. I mean, I didn't have an internet growing up. I had to go to the library. That's one of the fascinations I had with comic books as well. It's like a lot of times, the Prince Valiants of the strips that I read growing up, is just realizing that there's just a wealth of information out there, and just, making stories around it is so much fun. And I like blowing things up. So it's just like, I like making stories, but like totally distorting time, which is what my goal is going to be. So I got like big plans for episode 3. We're going to be featuring a Kaizu come in. So he's going to be like going into Washington and doing some really nefarious stuff. And Benjamin's going to have to try and tackle him with a bunch of other time enforcers, because one time enforcer is taking Kaiju. So, but we'll go from there. So it's all cool stuff.
So can I ask where did you come up with the name Time Enforcers, and what does it mean in the context of your world building?
Good question.
I came up with the name. I was actually driving to Maryland during COVID. We couldn't find a dog in the area, so we had to go to Maryland to find our dog Suki, who was barking earlier in the background. And this was in 2020. And so I'm driving down to Maryland. I had my 4 kids in the car. My wife was in the car. I think she was sleeping. My kids were on their phones, doing stuff. And I said, I got to come up with an idea. And I just always felt that, history was really important to me. I really liked it. And I just kept running through what's really cool that could really be unique and different. And I just thought of time enforcers. These guys are agents of time. They're defending the timeline. This is like nothing that's been done before. It's just, I'm not saying it's a rehash, but it's really something that's a similar idea, but I really wanted to make it unique, where it's going to be an opportunity for kids to learn about history. Because I just felt that in the day and age of COVID, everything was like, gaming was great, but I really wanted to make it more meaningful. And I played Destiny, I played Assassin's Creed, I've played, I can't remember what other games I played, but the lore was amazing. I mean, I loved reading the lore in these games. Yeah. But I thought to myself, why can't we have games that have, lore that pertains to real life? And that way kids are actually learning something that have some significance that they can maybe use in their lives. And that's what really drove me home for this, was trying to find a way to engage kids, have a fun opportunity to learn, and then actually learn some lore that they can use, hopefully, later in life for themselves. And that's really the whole premise of what came up with this idea.
I mean, I will say, I think that was part of the inspiration behind, Assassin's Creed 2 right? Like, it really was like, this is real history. Like, we're actually like, we are not, I mean, we did make a lot of shit up, but it was very grounded in real characters, real history. And
that's what I loved about Assassin's Creed, the whole Knights Templar, and the whole Assassin's League. That was so cool. I mean, the way that was all weaved together. I think that made it more effective in storytelling, because it was based in fact, for that degree. And you spawn off a timeline from that. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do here, is base things in fact, but then have some fun with it and, spin some stories off of it, and ultimately what the goal will be. So
I think it's fascinating too. Your time enforcers are the good guys.
Yep.
They are the ones who are trying to protect the timeline.
Yep.
Whereas in mine, the time enforcers are the bad guys, because they're trying to enforce someone I won't name, because we haven't met them yet, someone else's vision of what the timeline should be. And
well, you never know, Joshua. We could have a crossover event between time sensitive and time enforcers.
I can see it now.
And then have a dichotomy going on between the good guys and the bad guys. I'm a time enforcer. No, you're a time. No, I am.
I am.
Well, because I mean, it really comes down to, when you talk about time enforcers, right? Like an enforcer is a very draconian thing to be. It's like, this is the correct story.
Right.
And my whole thing is about questioning, why should anyone be telling the correct story. The story is everyone has their own story. And there is a truth we all share, right? Until someone starts taking control of the truth and changing the story.
Exactly.
And then it's about like, well, who is responsible for defending the truth? And when the enforcers are not the ones defending the truth, then it becomes really scary.
I like the fact that it's both ends of the spectrum, because because within everything you have the good and the bad. Just because you're supposed to be on the right side doesn't make you the good guy, and just because you're supposed to be on the wrong side doesn't make you the bad guy.
Right. I mean, everyone thinks they're the good guy.
Dude, the villain always thinks he's the good guy.
Yeah, I mean, my bad guy thinks he's right. So
see,
what maniacal leader doesn't think he's right?
Oh,
You get
definitely.
right down to it.
I mean, have you ever had times in your life where you've done bad things? I mean, you find ways to rationalize it, justify it, that you're in the right, So
That's like every capo that worked for the mafia. What's the problem?
yeah.
I'm doing a good thing.
I'm doing a good thing here.
Yeah. The system is broken, so I'm doing what I'm doing to get paid. So
Exactly.
That's right.
So, folks, this is the moment where I tell you guys about Whamstand, because they're amazing and they do a great job. Look at this beautiful microphone that I've been using to do the interviews at the conventions.
Wow.
And especially like the fact that it's made so that you can put in your wireless mic in here and then make it look like you're all professional and stuff and have a professional mic.
That's great.
This is amazing. And Whamstand does amazing stuff, folks. I don't know if you guys have seen Whamstand, but they just do beautiful stuff. They make your stuff stand out, whether it is being at a convention or trying to show off your stuff here in the house. It just gives you a way to make it stand out. And in a convention, when you stand out, that's really important. We all know that. Sometimes we lay our books on the table, but if you can pick them up like this, it gives people a chance to see it from across the room. And he does a lot of beautiful stuff.
Sold. I'm sold. I want some. Can you get me?
Dude, everybody who sees all the Whamstand stuff says the same thing. And look at this. Folks, I got to tell you a little bit about the beautiful Whamblems, because these Whamblems come off.
Okay.
And you can put whichever Whamblem you want on it.
Great.
See, we got the Bitten Apple TV Whamblem.
Yeah.
And you can get your own logo, so you can put it on the things. And as you saw over here, you can put it on the book stand. You get it, dude. Can you imagine just having your name on your book, going, "Look at me," or if you like a certain character, put it onto the thing. It makes it really stand out, folks. And he has so many things to make your stuff stand out. You got to see the turntable. I always try to look for it when I'm on here and I can't find it, but you got to go check out. Go to Whamstand, go check it out. And I'm bringing all of this stuff up because we are doing a giveaway, folks. I'm about to put a video up there on our Instagram and probably on the YouTube and the Facebook. And your guys are going to nominate your favorite podcasters so they can get a chance to win one of these beautiful pieces. And on top of that, the people who are nominating will get a chance to win something as well. So get to nominating, get to checking things out, and maybe you win something. And of course, your favorite podcaster might win their thing.
Nominate ourselves.
I was going to say, can make up my own podcast and not really exist. Does that count?
I know some of you are going to do that. I'm not listening. So the whole point is, as long as you get nominated, you're in the running. And as if it gets really big, I'm gonna change things up. I'm gonna make things different. I can tell you this, folks: the more nominations, the more people are in it, the more things are gonna be won. So if we get a great response, then maybe it'll be more than one of these mics we give away, or maybe it'll be more than one of those gifts that the audience members get, or the nominators or nominees, the people who nominate get. And I feel, it's our 10th anniversary, so I'm going to give stuff away. So if you want something, get ready to have some fun, get your name in there, and maybe you'll have a chance to win.
Dude, you've been doing this for 10 years? Wow.
We have been doing this for 10 years. In October, which is right there around the corner, it'll be 10 years since we created Bitten Apple TV.
Incredible.
And I've been a part of it for like 2 years.
Well, wow, me maybe like 5 years or so, and Jordan maybe.
Now they're all going to say how many years they're here.
Yeah.
Around 2 years.
Well, I'm like 6 months in now, right?
It all counts, folks. All these numbers are important. You know, the whole thing is to have fun and keep track of them. And of course, if you guys do that nominating and all that stuff in the comment section here, I'll take that into consideration as well, because the big video is not up yet. So, but if you do it here on the show, I will take that and I'll add it to all the beautiful numbers.
Love it.
All right, Mr. Jordan, you got a couple things you want to show off, right?
I do. It's been a minute.
So let's start you off with, of course, our friend Dirk Manning, who has taken over Source Point Press.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Volume 6 of Tales of Mystery is right around the corner, as it will be started up in October.
Oh, definitely. And we're going to see Dirk Manning at New York Comic Con in October. And we're going to have a big conversation with him, because he's going to be talking all about Source Point Press there. And, of course, he's going to be talking about Tales of Mystery.
Yep, the big announcement's going to be at NYCC.
Oh, definitely. So we're going to bring that to you, folks. And I saw this Switch video game you put up here. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that is a horror game. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've heard good things about it. So
I gotta say, anytime I see this in the Kickstarters, it's always interesting to me. I've seen that a couple of them become big after they've done their Kickstarters, so it's always interesting to see.
So this is not a new game. So much.
Yeah, no, it's not.
A classic horror game that is really terrifying and lovely, and this is like the physical artifact that they're releasing with all these extras. So it's more about nostalgia and collecting.
So they're trying to tease us, and they want us to get the stuff.
Plus, they're going to have a physical copy for Switch 2 people as well.
Oh, I love that, especially because the Switch 2 is deciding not to do too many physical copies, and I'm pissed off.
Well, that's the publisher.
Dude, man. Again, like we were talking before, I want to own my game.
Yeah.
There you go. Jordan, what's this?
Iconic Comics. I don't know a whole lot about the Black Ops stuff, but I do happen to know a bit about Common America, seeing as this is like the 3rd or 4th Kickstarter I've shown off on here.
Yeah, it is.
Basically, I mean, superhero got her powers from this like massive explosion in some factory. It's been a minute since I've read it, so I'm trying to piece my memory together. I mean, it's gotten nothing but like extremely more popular and more popular as the years have gone on for it.
Alone, yeah.
They've gotten like a massive push in Japan, even like a bunch of their merch is sold at stores out there even.
That's what I love hearing is when things get bigger and better and better and bigger. And I gotta say bigger and better. When you shared this in the chat, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And they're doing pretty well. They're at 53,000, 22 days to go, and they're trying to get to 75,000.
Yep.
No, 70,000. There you go. So they're 2/4 of the way? No, 3/4 of the way there. Yeah, 3/4 of the way there. They're almost there, folks. Help them out. They need another 17,000.
Actually, scroll down for a second. Actually, go off their like deluxe edition thing that they got going on. I just think it's really cool because I've never seen a book look like it before.
You know, for a minute when you put this up there, I thought that Dirk was a part of this too.
No. Almost there. Almost. Right here. There it is.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think that's just really neat.
Let's talk about deluxe. Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. See, folks, you know, like I said, I like to see when Kickstarters go out there. And I love the fact that we have our pal here from his Kickstarter, Time Sensitive, who's doing all that beautiful stuff as well. Joshua, why don't you tell the people one more time where they can find you and tell them a little bit about your Kickstarter?
So if you're just turning in, Time Sensitive #1 is it's the end of the evening. I'm running out of words.
I know. That's why I'm wrapping things up.
Very excited to have you guys check out Time Sensitive #1. It is a time travel book about paranoia, about love, about existential fear, about having reality pulled out from under you and not knowing what any of this is. I can't talk anymore. It's kicking in. It's a really cool comic. I'm a writer. You've played my games. Come read my comic.
Folks, rewatch the show, because if you're showing up now, shame on you. We're ending the show. You know, you can tell we're tired. We're talking gibberish, but go back, rewind the show, and you'll see all the beautiful stuff.
I was very intelligent
about it, and the video is amazing. So go check all that stuff.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been fantastic.
Dude, it's always a pleasure. I love having you on. It's like a geek out and a half. We talk writing, we talk geek, we talk video games. Dude, it's a plethora of beautiful conversations.
Absolutely. Amen. It's great chatting with all you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for like jumping in and supporting the Kickstarter while we were talking. You guys are so cool. Amazing.
Dude, we had to. It's a great book. And like I said, since we've been talking about it, I've been like, oh my God, this has to go somewhere. And I'm happy it is. I'm happy you're doing well. And may you get to your 30,000. Maybe you get to your 40,000.
God, your mouth to God's ears.
There we go, folks. Folks out there right now rewatching this, because we're about to finish. So you 10 people that showed up right now, rewatch. Go and support and make this happen, folks, because these Kickstarters or stretch goals are fantastic as well.
Yeah, super exciting stuff. Super exciting. And I think we're like $100 away from the next stretch goal.
Yeah.
Make it happen
there,
tonight.
Folks.
It's right there. It's so exciting. Yeah.
All right, folks. I hope you liked the show. On this show. Oh, Tony, you got something to say? All right, Tony, go ahead.
Oh, you know, like so like every season, the anime shows are the summer season of anime is coming to an end. So I'm doing like quick reviews. So I've already reviewed Hiatus, Nyata the Living Cat, and something else. Dan and Dan. I reviewed Dan and Dan. So they're coming. If Sakamoto, everything's gonna finish between this week or next week. So I'm gonna be reviewing Sakamoto Days. And my mind, I'm throwing a play. There'll be some more reviews on the Bitten Apples page on Facebook. So look out for them.
Folks, check out Tony's write-ups. They're fantastic. A lot of comedy, great writing. And if you're looking to find out more about a show that you want to watch or that you are watching, Tony will get into the depths of it. And I gotta say, that cat zombie thing has caught my attention.
That's hilarious.
When everybody turns into cats, I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I'm all in for that one.
I found this out today. I was reading. I didn't know it was a Japanese horror director. I forget. I'm gonna butcher his name. I think Takashi Miki, something like that. Yeah, but he's done a lot of Japanese horror. I didn't know he was a director, but it's funny.
I gotta say, it sounds silly.
But it has all the like horror tropes. It's cats. It's funny. So, yeah.
Also, bro, that last link I sent you. Real quick.
Right. I forgot to do that. Go ahead, Jordan. Tell the people.
I will once we have it. There we go. So that's all my links. My otaku affiliations on there, because I'm affiliated with a site called Otaku. They're not Otaku Limps anymore. They're just called Otaku. Otaku.shop, because they sell like keychains and shirts and clothing and all that stuff. No, still got lamps though, so we still can do that. My Play Asia affiliations on there. Get stuff tariff free.
All the good stuff. Jordan does a lot of great stuff. Go check him out. He is a fan of fans, and you want to check out what he's up to.
Yep.
All right, folks, that's everything.
Yep.
So on this show, when it ends, I do this, and some stuff happens, and so you know damn well I've run into those cats to become a cat. You know that, right?